So, guys, we got some huge news to share with you all today. We got some gigantic news, and it affects my Chicago Sky. Now, guys, if y'all don't know, I am a giant Chicago Sky fan. Like, that's what I do. Like, that's my team. Always been my team. I'm not unrealistic. I am very real. I am very realistic on the prospects of the Chicago Sky. So sometimes y'all want to accuse me of not being a fan because I'm not like, oh, the Sky gonna win everything, you know. Yeah. Let's talk about the new news for the Chicago Sky. The fact that they have announced that they are going to break ground on a 40,000 square foot facility. All right. Now, guys, this is a huge deal for the Chicago Sky. This is a huge deal for the WNBA. We constantly see, it feels like every couple months, we see a new performance center being built for or unveiled for a WNBA franchise. Most recently, we saw the Phoenix Mercury. They unveiled theirs during the All-Star break, during the All-Star game, and they gave tours of the new facility, and it looks, y'all, the new Phoenix Mercury facility looks fan-freaking-tastic, absolutely fantastic. And the Sky was like, okay, bet we about to release ours. And they did. So this is something that is a long time coming for the Chicago Sky, but at least it's finally here, guys. At least it is finally here. So this performance center will feature several full regulation size basketball courts. It is going to be built in partnership with the Village of Bedford Park. So this is not, so the Sky are not going into this endeavor by themselves. They are going to be partnering with the city of Bedford Park, which is a suburb of Chicago. So it's technically a village right next door to Chicago. It's most closest to Midway Airport. All right, so guys, this again feature multiple regulation size courts. It's also going to feature community partnerships. They have community partnerships solidified with the Obama Foundation, the YMCA of Metro Chicago. Players will have 24-hour access all year round. And this is something that the Sky doesn't have right now. They do not have this right now. And finally, we are leaving Saks Recreation Center in Deerfield, Illinois. And we are moving, yes, still in the suburbs, but not that far from Wintrust Arena. It's about 20 to 30 minutes or so on good traffic days. If it's traffic, is going to be more than that. But it's pretty good. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice to see, guys. Again, this is going to be a separate building. Like, this is all. This building is built specific. Is going to be specific to the Chicago Sky. It's with the Village of Bedford Park because they're using their property. And it's going to be completed in about a year. So the completion date for this is December 2025. I do anticipate that we will see some delays in this, because there's always delays. There's always delays when properties are being built. But even with the delay, it should be ready to go for training camp for 2020. It should be ready to go for training camp of 2026. All right. So that is something to know. Again, 40,000 square foot. And this is, this is exclusively for the Chicago Sky. This is going to be where their players will practice at, will rehab at. This is also where the Chicago Sky staff will be at. So if you all don't know, the Chicago Sky, their staff actually is located at McCormick Place. That's where their staff work. And now it's going to be in Bedford Park, and it's going to be all connected, which is pretty cool. All right. There was reporting before, I believe last week or so. I did previously make a video about it, where there was talk about the Chicago Sky buying and or adding on to the Wintrust Sports Complex, which is already existing in Bedford Park. Turns out that this is actually going to be, they're actually going to be building right next to it. They're going to be building right next to the Wintrust Sports Complex. And it's going to have 2 WNBA size courts, full class amenities, private facilities for the players, i.e., they're actually going to have real locker rooms that are theirs. They also are going to have player lounges. They're going to have a high-tech film room, advanced training room. They're going to have a strength and conditioning room, a private chef kitchen. Now, guys, I'm stressing the chef thing because that was one of the things that Kalia Copper talked about. She was like, I don't want to have to worry about food when she went over to Phoenix. She was so happy that she didn't have to worry about food anymore because that was supposedly something she had to worry about when it came to Chicago Sky. No longer do players have to worry about food. No longer, guys. You do not have to worry about food. All right. So I'm sure they are very, very much excited for that. There will also be personalized lockers for each of the players, secured parking, which is really, really good. So making sure that's private parking that is not accessible to any and everybody. So that's really, really good. Beauty stations, which, guys, I'm gonna say 2 more things. Beauty stations and a content creation studio. Now, guys, the beauty stations and content creation studio has Angel Reese written all over it. That is Angel Reese written all over that. All right. She has had multiple conversations with the Chicago Sky ownership. And guys, I guarantee you, Angel Reese is behind that. She is absolutely behind that. And it is smart for, Michael Alter and the other Sky owners to listen to her and make this happen. Okay. Because again, guys, the wave of the future is content creation. And players, they practice and whatnot, but they want to look good. So there's gonna be beauty stations. All right, there's going to be beauty stations and a whole content creation studio. Now, I think this is pretty cool. I think this is awesome. It's not just the fact that yes, the Sky will have their own facility. That's fantastic. But I love the forward thinking of this. I love it. It's not just okay. You got courts. You got your own courts, and you got some good amenities, and you got private access, 24 access. It's not just that, guys. It's also the forward thinking nature of it. The fact that you do have in the content creation studio, the fact that you do have beauty stations, the fact that you will have a private chef kitchen that's gonna be cooking up some tasty stuff for the players. Like, that is really smart. That is really, really, really smart to do for the Chicago Sky, because you want to make this interesting for future players. You want players to be like, yeah, you know what? I do want to go to Chicago, because Chicago got an awesome setup over there. Or if they're already in Chicago, they're not looking. They're not looking and seeing if the grass is greener on the other side. You don't have to look anymore, because the Sky's going to have you all covered. And I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. Now, I have done my fair share of complaining about the Chicago Sky owners and how I felt at times that they have been cheap. However, Move Sky owners, Move, y'all have round of applause to the Sky owners. Round of applause. I think you all have done a fantastic job. I love this. I love this. I love this. I think this is going to help us get some of the biggest free agents in the WNBA. I think this is going to help ensure that players stay happy, because we all know that the Sky players is not the personnel. So the Sky, a lot of the Sky people who have left in the past, it's not so much the personnel. It was the facilities that made people want to leave. And now that there's a whole bunch of fanfare about Teaspoon. People seem to like her. People seem to like the ownership. Overall, it was the amenities that was the big thing. We almost got NECA. We almost got Skylar. The reason why they went to Seattle instead of Chicago was because of the amenities. Everything else was good for them. They both liked the idea of playing for Teaspoon. They liked it. The reason why they didn't come here was because of our amenity. And now it will not be an issue. It will not be an issue. We are well overdue for an actual facility. Now, I am personally very, very, very excited to talk about this because I just think it's fantastic. I really do. I love it. I love it. The WNBA is on the move. We're constantly seeing new facilities being built for the various teams, and I'm happy that the Chicago Sky is finally in the number because guys, you want to be in the number, right? You want to be in the number, and the Sky are finally in that number, and I am absolutely thrilled about it. I think this is a W move by the Chicago Sky. This is something that they should have done a while ago, but better late than never. Okay, better late than never. They finally got on board. They got the money to work right, and yes, our prices did increase. Absolutely, the ticket prices for me increased. It increased. It doubled. My ticket prices doubled last year to this year. They doubled. All right. And initially, I was very upset about that. And I was like, I was wondering, okay, well, what am I really paying for and all this stuff? I'm paying for this. I'm paying for this new facility, and all the other season ticket holders who prices skyrocketed. That's what we're paying for. All right. We are paying for this facility, and personally, I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. I am okay with that decision because at least they are making moves to improve the status of the Chicago Sky, and I personally am very, very, very much excited about it. Now, guys, I do want to specifically call out some quotes that was mentioned in the press release. So here's what Nadia Rollinson. So Nadia Rollinson is she's a part owner of the Sky, but also she is basically their like PR person, it seems. Anytime the Chicago Sky needs to speak on something, anytime the Sky needs to speak on something, Nadia Rollinson is the main person who does all the talking. All right, so Michael Alter and all the other owners, they don't really talk that much, but Nadia Rollinson, she's the person who does all the talking for the Sky. She said, "We could not be more excited to announce a practice facility that will raise the bar on athletic performance, set the standard for player amenities, and support our players with exceptional resources built exclusively for them. Living in downtown Chicago will also give Sky players the opportunity to experience all the benefits of our world-class city. Thanks to Bedford Park, who stepped up to be a part of the first of its kind public-private partnership for a WNBA practice facility to bring this transformational vision to life." Here is what the village president had to say. The village president of Bedford Park. He said, "As a lifelong Bedford Park resident, educator, and coach, I am thrilled to announce the expansion of the Quita Sports Complex to feature the Chicago Sky's state-of-the-art practice facility and training facility. I want to thank the board and the Chicago Sky leadership for believing in a collective vision and investing in the future of Bedford Park. We are excited to be a part of Skytown and look forward to welcoming them in our home." So that is what was said. That's what was said, and I think it's pretty awesome. I think it is pretty awesome. Now, guys, a thing to note: this, as that quote said, this is a public-private partnership. So the Sky does not fully own this thing themselves. All right, they're doing it on village land. And it's going to be part village property. That could have its downsides. Absolutely, that could have its downsides in terms of the Sky not fully being able to fully make all of their own decisions. However, it does bring benefit in terms of additional funding. So the Sky does not have to. They don't have to handle that full $38 million cost alone. All right, they don't have to cover that all by themselves. So that's one good thing. That's one good thing about it. And I'm hoping that as long as the village of Bedford Park is still in good financial situation, and the Sky are too, that this turns out to be a fantastic public-private partnership for decades and decades and decades to come. So the reason why this is a public-private is because there's going to be some public use of this facility. All right, there's going to be some public use for this. So they're going to be partnering with the Obama Foundation, the YMCA of Metro Chicago. They're going to be also working with the Village of Bedford Park to, give the public some access to some of the facilities. Of course, yes, the players are the main focus on this, but there will be some public good that's going to happen from this building. So that is something to note. And so, yeah, I think it's cool. I'm excited about it. I hope you all are as well. The Chicago Sky are finally in the conversation when it comes to top amenities for the WNBA. I love it. I really do. I really do love it. When we talk about the Chicago Sky, they didn't have that grid of stuff. They didn't. And yes, this is not the most expensive, facility, right? It's $38 million, which is a lot of money, a whole lot of money. I wish I had a tenth, or I don't know, a small percentage of that, 5% of that, or whatever, 1% of that. I wish I had that, but anyway, it's a lot of money for regular people. But when we think about WNBA teams and what they have unveiled, is not that much. All right, so comparison time. Remember the Mercury facility I was talking about earlier? Remember that? That facility that was unveiled last week at the All-Star game, that facility was $100 million. All right? That facility was $100 million, and it was just steps away from where they play at Footprint Arena. All right? So this is not like the craziest of bills, right? The Seattle Storm, they unveiled theirs. What was that, earlier this year, earlier this season or something like that? They unveiled theirs. Theirs was $64 million. All right. The Aces, their build out of their practice facility was $40 million. All right. So that's something to note. Okay. So the prices for this stuff, I sort of ran the gamut. Okay. You got $100 million for the Mercury. You got $64 million for the Seattle Storm, $40 million for the Las Vegas Aces, and for the Chicago Sky. For the Chicago Sky, you have $38 million. KT, that's a good thing to note. Yes, the Mercury do own the land. Also, I do also believe that the Las Vegas Aces and the Seattle Storm also own their own land. I think I will do a follow-up video. I'll do a follow-up video about this. All right. But I did just want to talk about this because, one, I think it's a W move. I love it. It's great that they're now in a better situation than they were before at the boondocks in the suburbs. But they're still in the suburbs. Again, way closer, not that far from downtown Chicago, but still not downtown. So Wintrust Arena is, I wouldn't consider that downtown. That's sort of like right on the edge of, it's right next to the McCormick Center. So it's sort of like right on the edge of the south side of Chicago and like going into like the Loop. Sort of like the Loop area kind of for Wintrust Arena. And the Sky were trying to look for something like that. They were trying to look for a property downtown or close to downtown, but it just didn't work out. It just did not work out in terms of the options that they ultimately had. And I do want to share a particular article with you all that sort of dives into this even a little bit more. So this is from I want to share an article from Annie Costabile with the Chicago Sun-Times, and she spoke with Rollinson, and I want to talk about that real quick because I thought that was pretty interesting, right? I thought it was pretty interesting. So let me share my screen one more time, and I want to talk about that. Okay, why can't I show this? All right, give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right, apologies for the delay. All right, so this is a specific. This is an article from Annie Costabile of the Sun-Times. And here is what it says. So, you know, before games right now, the sky is that, and I talked about this in a previous video. The sky, most of them live in the suburbs, but when they live in the suburbs in Deerfield, near Saks Recreation Center, which is where they currently practice at. And on home games, they do stay at a nearby hotel the night before, so they can be close, so they don't have to travel that much. The new facility that is being created will also have upgraded team housing. So that's kind of cool. One thing to note is that the WNBA is very different than some other leagues. The fact that the WNBA actually takes care of the housing. WNBA teams takes care of housing for players. So that's something to note because it's only in the summer. Teams got to make sure that the players have a place to stay. So that's something that is something to note. And here's what Nadia Rawlinson, again, she's the spokesperson for the Sky. Here's what she had to say. She said the team explored everything that was available. So they wanted to make it known that they were trying for the city, but it just didn't work out. Here's what Nadia said. She said, "I know we want it to be downtown for the practice facility. That's ideal. We talked about whatever makes sense financially for the franchise, whatever is available in the timeline. There are things that could work, but it would take a lot longer." She said, "We're putting in the time and effort to do it the right way with the right partners on the timeline that is as fast as possible without sacrificing quality." And that's why they made the decisions that they made to solidify this partnership. And I love it because, guys, if they were going to make this thing happen in the city, let's say they were going to do it in the South Loop, right next to nearby to Wintrust Arena. One, there's not much in terms of abandoned property over there. So you'd have to figure out what you're going to do because the Sky could have used a part of the old Michael Reese Hospital, which is on the south side, I think in Bronzeville. Like they could have possibly used that as a site, but the site is huge, and I believe right now the city owns it, and I don't think it would have took forever to actually build something. That probably would have been like a long sought out process, probably like a 5 or 6 year deal to sort of build something on the place that's probably the closest to Wintrust Arena that was kind of abandoned. The Sky needs the property, ASAP basically, and this was the way to make it happen. Yeah, Paris, I 100% agree. Yeah, the Sky needs the property now. They need their own practice facility now to compete, and it was going to be basically impossible to get something in a year, roughly, that could actually work for the team as a long-term solution, not just a short-term solution. And so all of those things, is a factor, and led to them making this decision to partner with the village of Bedford Park, and to make this thing happen. I love it. I think this is great. I think this is really, really good. The Sky did not have to purchase their own property. They don't have to really worry about permits and all this other stuff, because when you're building a new facility, you gotta worry a lot about permits, because everything is all about timing and whatnot, and you got to make sure the city that you're building in is okay with all this stuff. The Sky doesn't have to worry about that because this is in partnership with the village. So it's going to make a lot of stuff a lot more easier, and also can ensure that they can make this December 2025 timeline. Like I think it's great. I really do think it's great. So shout out to the Chicago Sky for making this thing happen. I think it's great. I think it really is great. They were able to get some additional financial backing with the village, who's behind this whole thing, and I love it. I really do. I really, really, really do. So again, this will be done tentatively by December 2025. So about a year and some change. Definitely well before the 2025 WNBA season. So that's awesome to note. And it's going to include two regulation size WNBA courts, private facilities for players, player lounges, a film room, a training room, a private chef's kitchen. Yes, they are getting a chef. Locker rooms of personalized lockers, secured parking, a content creation studio, and beauty stations, likely courtesy of Angel Reese. And all of this is going to be had for $38 million. And the financial situation will be handled by both the Chicago Sky and the Village of Bedford Park, which is where this facility is going to be located. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Rachel says, will players live in that village? Likely players will live in Bedford Park. Yeah. So the thing you know is that typically, actually, it's pretty common that all WNBA players, all WNBA teams, pay for housing for players. It's up to the players to use the housing or not. They can decide, actually, I don't want to live here. I want to live somewhere else. But the WNBA teams do pay for the housing for players. So likely they will live in Bedford Park, which again is not that far from Wintrust Arena. It's not that far. And guys, actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll do a quick map, Google Maps thing to actually show y'all how far this is. It's not that far. It's really not. I want to show y'all how far this is to Wintrust Arena. All right, so let me share my screen one more time because I mean for me I know how far this stuff is because this is where I'm from, but for others I want to make sure you all like understand how far this is because it's not far at all. It's really not. All right, so here is the map. Here's the map, and we have I put in Wintrust Sports Complex, which this facility is going to be right next door to that. And Wintrust Arena. So again, right now it's nighttime. You know, it's 8:40 in Chicago. It's not that crowded. 19 minutes. 19 minutes without traffic is not that bad. With traffic, 35 ish minutes. Maybe pushing 40 a little bit, depending on how terrible the traffic is. But it's not bad. It's really, really, really not bad at all in terms of traffic. So again, even if players do live in Bedford Park, it's not that far. It's not that far to get to the games. It's not. So they likely will live in Bedford Park, or some of them might actually live downtown. Even if you live downtown, again, downtown is not that far from Wintrust Arena anyway. Like it's really not that far. Like this is like the South Loop, and downtown is like right up here. So again, it's not that far from Bedford Park. So all of this is a great sign for the Chicago Sky. All of this allows the Sky to actually start to be competitive finally with the other teams in the W. So again, personally, I am very, very excited about it. Now, guys, I do want to get you all's thoughts about this. I do want to get you all's thoughts. But for me, I'm cool with my prices going up for tickets. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it because we get this. I mean, I don't get it. I'll probably never step foot in this place, but our players will get this, and that will likely mean that we'll get some better players, and we'll be able to actually go back to competing for a championship, which is great. So I think it's great. So absolutely. I was gonna do a story about this. I'm not sure if I will anymore. But the Chicago Sky, they put out the invoices for season ticket renewals a couple weeks ago, and they didn't say anything about prices going up. And it's funny because I noticed it because I was talking to my ticket rep. About, hey, I have 2 tickets right now to every home game, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in getting 2 more tickets. Can I do that? And I'm like, I want 2 tickets next to where I sit at right now. Cause there's, I do have other family who want to go to games, want to go to Sky Games with me. But since my mom goes to most of them because she's on the live stream, they're like, hey, can you get more tickets so we can go too? So I was trying to get 2 more tickets. So I wanted a total of 4 tickets next year for the Sky. So I reach out to my rep. I say, hey, I want 2 more tickets on the same row. Do you have any available for next year? And he was like, no, we're actually all sold out right now for next year. And he was like, but you can decide to put a deposit down for I forgot when, I think my seats are called lower bowl. I think that's what they're called. He's like, you can put a deposit down for the lower bowl seats, and that way, if spots open up and people decide not to renew their tickets, you can take those seats. And he said, like, if it turns out that you don't want the seats that open up, because again, I was like, I really want my row, the current row I'm on. I either want the row in front of it or the row behind it. I don't want any other seats, any other 2 additional seats besides the current space I sit at. And he's like, if we don't have those seats open up, then we'll just credit your account. And so I was like, okay, great. So I go into he said, here, go to the site where we do our invoices, select the wait list, pay the fee for the wait list, and you'll be added. You'll be added to it. And so I was like, okay, great. So I did that. And the place where I went to submit the payment for the wait list for the 2 additional seats for next year is the same place that I go to pay my invoice for, like, at the end of the season. And I was just curious. I was like, well, I'm wondering, like, hey, do they have the tickets for next year already in here? I went in and I looked and I was like, oh my goodness, what did I pay last year? the prices went up, and my rep didn't say anything about prices going up. He said nothing about prices going up. And I was like, wow, what did I pay last year? I was like, did I pay this last year? I don't remember paying this. So I looked at what I paid last year. I was like, oh, wow, this doubled in price. I couldn't believe it. So then I went on Twitter, and then I see Sky season ticket holders messaging, and I think it was maybe the next day, or I can't remember if it was that same day or the next day, but I go on Twitter and I see Sky season ticket holders complaining. They're saying, hey, my price is doubled and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh, they rose everybody's. They rose everybody prices. And I was like, wow. And so people were saying that their reps were reaching out to them. And I was like, I was like, oh man, I was like, my rep didn't say nothing about the prices going up. I was talking to him about getting 2 more tickets. And now I'm like, oh my goodness, do I really want 2 more tickets? Because I'm like, I don't even know if I don't know if I can afford that. Like, it's some money, guys. It is some money. And I was like, whoa. And then eventually I think that next day I got or maybe it was later that day, I can't remember. Soon after, I got an email from my rep that said, to view your invoice for next season, go here. It's going to auto renew on like August something. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's official. That wasn't a mistake. The prices really did go up. And so I know of a lot of fans who are actually like really, really mad. A lot of, like, once that was put out there, that the prices went up on everybody, I saw a lot of people complaining and saying, what are we getting for the price? What are we getting? Y'all don't give us nothing. Like, we get some terrible thank you gifts and all this other stuff. And I was like, I started to get a little salty myself. I was like, man, yeah, where's the money going? You double my price and all this stuff. And I get it. I get it. Inflation. I get it. But like, double? Like, I don't know. It felt a little bit much. It felt a little bit much. And I'm like, you don't even have a practice facility. Like what is the money going to? And now Now we know what the money is going to. The money is going to this practice facility, paying for the private chef that they're about to get, and all the other stuff that's happening. So my frustration initially at the price. I mean, I'm still not going to be happy to like pay the price because again, it really did double. My tickets really did double. And others, I've seen other people who said, I actually saw somebody who said their tickets more than double, and I was like, whoa, like it was like to be honest with you, I was actually I'm actually very very grateful that I have this channel, because truly guys, I don't know if I could afford the tickets without it. Without this channel, I don't think I could afford the tickets for next year. like because you all have given super chats, because you all have subscribed to me on Patreon, because you all have watched my videos and they've been like some ads. Yeah, you all watch a lot of ads, but I make like a couple cents per I don't know, $1 or so per 1,000 people watch the ad or whatever. But all of that has added up to a decent amount that actually allows me to actually rebuy tickets to get the same seats I have next year. So that is really 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 awesome. So thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for all of the things that you all have given me on this channel, because of you guys, truly, literally because of you guys, I am actually able to afford the tickets for next year. Because I could afford it on last year's prices. Last year prices, because the thing is, I plan for this. Like literally every year, that's my splurge. Every single year, that's my splurge. Is I splurge for Sky tickets and I splurge for Red Stars tickets. That's literally what I do. All right, that's literally what I do every single year. That's what I plan for. I don't go on vacations. I don't do anything crazy. Like that's literally the Sky gets a lot of my money. The WNBA makes a lot of money off of me because of my support, not just tickets but like merch and parking and all this other stuff. So they've made a lot of money off of me over the years. And because of you guys, I'm actually able to afford. So thank you. Rena says, by how much they're going up? My tickets went up 50%. All right, my tickets went up 50%. Other people, I don't know. I've seen other people say that they've gone. I've seen people say anywhere from like 50% to I think I saw somebody say like 60% as well. So yeah, that's something to note. But my tickets personally, my personal tickets, again, I have 2 tickets for every game. Those rose by 50%, or they doubled in price. So literally what they were last year, just double it, and that's what my price is. And to think, I was thinking about getting 2 extra tickets. I don't know if I can do that anymore now. To think, guys, to think. Alessandra says, "Are you going to Quita?" No, that's not my vibe. I do know some colleagues that are going to. Some of my colleagues are going to Lala, and I'm like, more power to them. It's not my scene, guys. Not my scene at all. If y'all know anything about me, y'all know I don't listen to any artist that will be at Lala. I don't listen to any artist that would be at Lala. I think if I went, I would be like an old man on the porch, upset at these young people going crazy and acting silly. I think I would not have a good time if I was there. Okay, I would not have a good time at all, at all. Um, so so no, I'm not going to Lala. Never will. Never have. Never will. Don't do music festivals because there is no, um, you know, they don't play the music I like. They don't play the music I listen to. So no, no. Um, all right, let's see. Donald says, you need to get a producer, and start going over doing interview sessions. That would be cool, but to be quite honest with you, producers cost money, and I don't have it, so unfortunately, no, I can't. I love the idea though, and it may be possible for me to try to I try my best to continue to improve this channel. Like I try, you've probably y'all have seen this. If y'all have been around for a while, y'all have seen these iterations of this channel and how I've improved my quality of the video quality. I've improved the graphics, the mic. I've tried to improve stuff and make stuff better, and then try to do like series and whatnot. And like the only thing is like literally everything I do is like literally just me. Unfortunately, I don't have a producer. I probably never will get one unless I go big or something. But I don't know if that'll ever happen. But for right now, I'm gonna try to do the best. I'm gonna do the best with what I got. I'm gonna do the best with what I got.